Beginning. The morning rush in New York City didn't care who you were. The coffee lines were long, the traffic relentless, and the elevators, well, they were small, stuffy, and always too slow. Sarah Patel, a high-powered marketing executive, pressed the worn elevator button with her usual urgency. Her heels clicked on the marble floor, her leather bag hanging heavily on her shoulder. On the outside, she looked sharp, composed. On the inside, she was breaking apart, piece by invisible piece. The elevator doors creaked open. Sarah stepped inside, barely noticing the man already standing in the corner, gray coveralls, a janitor's cart beside him, and a thermos tucked into one large, calloused hand. He didn't look up. His brown eyes stayed fixed on the floor. Just another invisible person in the building, she thought, as her mind drifted to the appointment she'd just left, the doctor's office. The one where words like panic disorder, overwhelmed, and unaddressed trauma had been thrown around. She hated the word broken. But that's exactly how she felt. Rising action. The elevator gave a slight jolt, signaling its slow climb. Fluorescent lights hummed overhead. Sarah tightened her grip on her bag and drew in a sharp breath. Her chest was tightening. She knew the feeling, the walls creeping in, her heartbeat accelerating, breath shortening like she was being slowly suffocated from the inside. She blinked rapidly, refusing to cry. Not here. Not in front of a stranger. But her hands began to tremble. The janitor shifted slightly. He noticed, but didn't stare. Instead, with the quiet kind of gentleness only learned through years of seeing pain without speaking it, he reached into his coverall pocket and pulled out a neatly folded handkerchief. It was white with faint blue stitching along the edges. He held it out toward her, silently. Sarah looked at him, confused. "You okay?" He asked softly, his voice deep and worn, like the old mop bucket he pushed around the lobby every morning. She hesitated, lips trembling. "I'm fine," she whispered. He didn't argue. Just gave a nod and gently pressed the handkerchief into her hand. She stared at it, clean, smooth, warm from his pocket. "Try breathing into that," he said. "It helps sometimes." Climax. The elevator stopped between floors. A mechanical whine echoed through the shaft. The lights flickered. Then everything went dark. Sarah gasped, pressing herself against the mirrored wall. "No, no, no," her voice cracked. Panic gripped her like a claw around the throat. I can't be stuck." "It's okay," the janitor said, his voice steady. "Power's out. These old elevators do that sometimes. We'll be moving again in a minute." She slid to the floor, knees weak. "I can't breathe." He knelt beside her, still calm. "Breathe with me, all right? In. Out. Slow." She tried. Failed. Tried again. "Hold the handkerchief to your mouth," he said. "Just like this. Trust me." His presence was solid, like an anchor. She did what he said. Slowly, the panic started to ease. Her lungs obeyed. Her heart slowed. The darkness didn't feel like it was going to swallow her whole anymore. After a moment, the emergency light flickered on, dim, but enough to make the shadows less terrifying. "That's it," he said. "You're all right now." She looked at him. Really looked. Gray in his beard. Tired eyes. A kindness most people walked past without noticing. "You've done this before," she murmured. "Been through it, yeah. My daughter, she used to have attacks like that after her mom died. Elevator was one of her worst." Silence hung between them, not heavy, but shared. "What happened to her?" Sarah asked gently. He smiled a little. "She's 19 now. Doing fine. Studying social work. Says she wants to help people like her, like you. Sarah laughed softly, a sound that surprised her. The elevator jerked and began moving again. I don't even know your name, she said, still sitting on the floor. Mike. I'm Sarah. Falling action. The elevator doors opened on the 24th floor. She stood, shaky but better. Mike gathered his cart, preparing to step off at the next floor. Thank you, she said, holding the handkerchief close. I think you just saved me. He shook his head. Nah. You did that yourself. Just needed a reminder you could. She nodded, emotion thick in her throat. As the doors closed again, she kept her eyes on him until they slid shut. She kept the handkerchief. Resolution. Over the next few weeks, Sarah started making small changes. She took real lunch breaks. She scheduled therapy. She walked more. Breathed deeper. And every now and then, when she felt the panic creeping in, she pulled out the handkerchief, soft now, worn from use, and remembered Mike's steady voice in the darkness. One day, she asked the building manager about the janitor. Mike, the manager said, surprised. Yeah, he's been with us nearly 2 decades. Good man. Keeps to himself. Lost his wife a while back. Raised his girl all on his own. Sarah smiled. Later that week, she left a small package at the janitor's supply closet. Inside, a fresh stack of handkerchiefs with blue stitching, and a handwritten note. The note read, Dear Mike. You probably don't remember what you said. But I remember every word. That moment in the elevator, it reminded me that kindness doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it just quietly hands you a lifeline. Thank you for breathing with me when I forgot how. I hope these help you help someone else. You helped me more than you'll ever know. Sarah. Ending line. And somewhere on the 25th floor, a quiet janitor unfolded a new handkerchief, smiled, and tucked it into his pocket, ready for whoever might need it next.